Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. Never forget a special moment for the important people in your life. Present Gifting is a free reminder service for birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and more. Register for free at presentgifting.com. Nancy Bakke and Best Entrepreneur Solutions, revealing the key ingredients to skyrocket business profits. BestEntrepreneurSolutions.com. Your trusted mortgage professional is just a click away. Learn more at CapitalMortgageSource.com. Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer has a live event with speakers and fellowship this fall. Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer in-person event will be October 2nd through the 4th, 2026 in Garrison, New York. Learn more at PerspectivesOnCancer.com. And now let's get on with the show. Well, and here we have it. We've got The Experience live with Russ and Scott, but it's just me this morning here coming at you from Waco, Texas. Russ is recovering from his emergency surgery this last weekend. Thank you to everyone that has been praying for him. Just so appreciative of that, and everyone who has been reaching out, has been concerned. And as you know, Russ has the best attitude, and he is still sending out messages. You can see, although he's not on camera, he's here with us this morning here on The Experience. So we do this every week, The Experience live with Russ and Scott. This is our 6th year, 6.5 years. Or 5.5 years, I guess. I don't know. We started in January of 2021. So I guess that's, this is year 6. So 5.5 years that we've been doing this show every week, every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific time. I have since moved to Waco, Texas. I'm in the Central Time. So that makes it 9 o'clock. So for those people that were early, we had some guests from Alaska, and it gets very early there for folks. And if you're not a morning person, that's a challenge. Turns out I am a morning person, but I still enjoy having the show here later on. So hello, Michael. Thank you for joining us. And as I said, Russ is recovering. He's doing well. He's got more tests, so continue to pray. Stay in touch with him. But we do this show every week, and we have sponsors. So I just want to say thank you to all the sponsors who make this possible. If you want to learn more about this show, you can go to our website. That's local.theexperience.video. And there's all kinds of information there, shows that Russ does, that I'm doing, that we're doing together. There's Russ's book, Life Happens, and Then You Choose. And you can find my book, Business Networking, A Scientific Method, as well as our LinkedIn, YouTube, and all those kind of things. There's also a donation button there. So if you like what we're doing, you click, you can contribute to this. We're just paying the hard costs that we've got. So hello, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. And Simon, great to have you here as well. Because Russ is out, and I'm just going to be doing this show solo today. So I love that Lisa, Simon, Michael, that we have got you here in the comments, as well as Russ. And always thank you to Ever for being our teammate in the background. She's the one who puts together all these great graphics, does a lot of the promotion for us, gets everything scheduled out. So very helpful to have Ever working as part of the Experience team here. One of the things when we have guests on the show, people will ask, what is the format of the show? What are we going to talk about? And, we don't have pre-scripted questions. We want to know who you are and what's going on. But Russ and I always say, we talk about life and interesting stuff, and then we want to promote you. So whatever you've got going on, maybe you're a consultant and or a coach. Now, we're really big on coaches here at The Experience, and we believe that everyone should have a coach and coaches should have coaches. I always say that isolation is the killer. And especially when you're a solo entrepreneur, you're a business owner, if you're working remotely, it's hard. It can be really hard. And you don't want to try to go it alone. We need each other. You have a community around you. And as we say, the lows are not as low, but the highs are just that much more fun. So some days, we're just having a challenge. I was talking to a man last night that he, has been going through some challenging stuff this year. And, he's telling me he just doesn't know what to do. And just having someone to listen to him was so helpful and so important. I wasn't there to solve his problems. I'm not there to give him the answers. Sometimes we just need to verbalize these things. Sometimes you just need a safe place to rant. And that is perfectly fine. In fact, I have literally told that to folks. Look, sometimes you just want to rant. And I'm a safe place to do that. Just call me up and let fly. But we're all in this together. The other thing is celebration. When things go well, when you sign that new client, when you have that breakthrough, when you launch your book or your course or some other monumental moment in your life and in your business, if you're just here in the home office and there's no one around and you just have that big win, it's like, yay me. It's just not as much fun, because if we're out on the sports field, we'd be jumping around, waving our arms, high-fiving, chest bumping. We'd be having such a great time with each other. We would be celebrating. We would be encouraging each other. And so this is what we can do together, right? And maybe we can do it personally, networking events, in-person events that you can go to. Sometimes it's virtually. Sometimes you just need somebody to talk to, phone call, even a text or a WhatsApp message. Maybe it's a video call. And that's what we need to do. And as ever saying, we can't go it alone, that we need to celebrate even the small wins. And this is so important. These are things that we need to do. We need to encourage each other. We need to be encouraged. And it's just so much fun when we get to celebrate with other folks. And Garrett Collins is commenting here. He says, please, I need your help on my campaign. So Garrett, we'll need more details. What's the campaign? What is going on? So feel free to add some more details there in the comments, or if you have a link that you can share, maybe you've got a landing page on your website that's explaining stuff, or social media post that will help us learn more about what's going on. But as ever said, you can't go it alone. We need each other. We were created to be with each other. We need that community. You need the support. And so Garrett has his GoFundMe account. So you guys can take a look at that and see if that's something you want to support. So Garrett, thank you for sharing that. As we progress through our lives, everybody has something. There was a great training video, and it's funny. I just shared this last week with a friend. That there was a training video put out by Chick-fil-A, and you can find it on YouTube. So if you just put in Chick-fil-A, it's like everyone has a story. It's not the exact wording, but if you put in Chick-fil-A, everyone has a story. You search that on YouTube, you will find the video. It was a training video that they made many years ago. And it's just music and a camera that pans through their store. And it starts behind the counter with the store manager, and it goes to some of the employees and the guests, and it kind of rolls through the whole restaurant. And as they pan past each of these different people, there's some text that comes on the screen, and it starts with the manager, and it says that his son had just been deployed to active combat zone in the Mideast, and so obviously this is weighing on his heart. And then it pans past some of the different patrons, and there's different stories that come on. And there's a young couple that is deciding, struggling with should they not get married. There is a senior citizen lady sitting at the table alone who says she would come every week to that restaurant to eat with her husband, and he had just passed away, but she still kept that tradition and came to the restaurant. But there she is eating alone. There's a father and a daughter, and it says that the little girl's mother died in childbirth, and the father still blames her. These are stories that are fictional in this in the video, but they're representative of real life struggles that people are experiencing all the time, and we just don't know what they are. So maybe when you come across somebody, they're a little bit different. They're more quiet, or they're kind of evading engaging with people. Sometimes it comes out in anger. They're giving short, curt answers, or responding very harshly. Well, if you have a child that was just sent off into an active combat zone, you might be a little bit more emotional. And these are the kinds of things. So we don't know what those stories are. We don't know in many cases what people are going through. And so we have the opportunity to share grace, to show compassion, to be forgiving of other folks. Because I tell you what, we are all in this together. And back in the days when I was in different businesses and was a people manager, and I had the team working for me, that's what I tell them is that we're all in this together. And I would often give them a quote that came from my father. Now, he attributed it to the famous football coach, Vince Lombardi. And I have looked, and this is the beauty of the internet. I can go out and search and search and search and look for famous quotes, and you can do famous quotes from Vince Lombardi. And I have never seen this quote attributed to him. So I attribute it to my father. And he said, the difference between a team and a committee is that the members of a team love each other. The difference between a team and a committee is that members of a team love each other. That is, we have compassion for each other. We stand with each other. And so when you're in the workplace and somebody says, hey, I'm going to need somebody to cover my shift, or I'm going to be late, or can someone help me with the tasks because I need to take care of a child, or I need to care for a parent, which happens so regularly today. And it might be some other thing because we don't know what's going on in people's lives. But what's going to happen is today we're going to step up and we're going to fill the gap for that person, because guess what? Tomorrow, next week, it's going to be me. And I'm going to need somebody to step in for me. And we're just all in this together. And this is what community is all about. And this is what Russ and I have been building for these past 6 years here in the experience. We've had hundreds of guests. I often say that we have the most remarkable people on the planet here on our show as guests, which is absolutely true. the conversations that we've had, we always run out of time. We go a half hour. That time goes so fast. That time goes so quickly because you cannot fit the experience and wisdom of the people that we have as guests on our show in 30 minutes. But it is a way to get started. It is something that we can do to get a glimpse into their experience, into their character, into their understanding, and the way that they've synthesized information into providing novel solutions for folks, problems that people have. So what we always encourage is connect with the folks. We put out their contact information, whether it's their LinkedIn profile, their social media profiles, the websites, different ways to contact people, to get involved with them and learn more about them. Every one of our guests that we've ever had on the show has always been open to connecting with folks and being able to share wisdom. And we always learn from each other. So it's very important that we do not abandon the gathering together. So we're coming up to the fall season, fall, winter, and into spring. There's going to be a lot of different conferences going on. I'm being a sponsor, one of the sponsors of the UXAI conference. That's coming up on September 12th here in Waco, Texas. And this is UXAI, and it was actually founded by Fernando Labastida and Mike Hamilton. And Fernando actually lost his job to AI. So he was a marketing content creator, and AI came along and he got displaced. And I'll say he looked the beast in the eye and decided, you know what, I am going to learn how to master AI and to use it as a tool. And so the UX AI is actually that's you and your knowledge and your expertise times AI equals unstoppable. So U times AI equals unstoppable, because AI is just a tool. It's doing some research. It's putting some things together. It's efficient on some things, but it needs your brain. It needs that gray matter. It needs the information that you have in your head. And so the UXAI conference, September 12th, you can just look that up and get more information. But I just released an episode today. It's going to air not this Saturday, but on the 29th of the Waco Experience, an American Story. People can go to thewacoexperience.com and subscribe on whatever podcast platform works for you. That episode is going to release soon here. But people have concerns about AI. And I will just tell you, the unknown is always more frightening than the known. So participating in conferences like the UXAI conference, connecting with people and building that network, you're going to learn a ton of information there. But what you're going to build is you're going to build a network of experts that you can call on, because you may not know what that question is today that you need to ask, but in a month or 2 months, it's going to be you or someone that you know has a question, and you're going to say, I don't have the answer, but I know where we can find it. And so I encourage people to seek out those conferences, the ones that are local, maybe some of the national ones. I'll talk about some others coming up later on. But I want to give a shout out to this book collaboration detail, Intentional Perspective, Finding Joy When Life Gets Messy. And the link to that is in the comments, and it's clickable, so you can follow that. This is a book that is being led by Kathy Dirksen and Russ Hedge. It's a collaborative book. I'm fortunate that I get to write one of the chapters for that book. Life gets messy. You know, we were just talking about that video, that training video from Chick-fil-A. Everybody has something. Everybody has something. And there's going to be about 20 authors in this book. There's still room if you have a story that you would like to share, reach out to Kathy Dirksen, myself, or Russ Hedge, and we'll give you all the details, or follow the link at inspiredtenacity.now.site/intentional_perspect. Like I said, it's a long URL. Just go to the comments and click on that. But what happens is you're going to read stories in a book like this that may not be your exact story, but it's going to be similar, or it's going to be similar to someone that you know. And this is a great way to provide helpful information, to provide a context, but also some steps on how did you get through this? How did you survive doing this? Many of you know that my wife suddenly and unexpectedly passed away in May. I took her to the emergency room in April, on the 14th. And 3 weeks later, she passed away. It was intestinal cancer, advanced, and very similar to the way pancreatic cancer is that there's really not a lot of symptoms that would clue you in until the damage is significant. And that's the way it was for Christine. I had already agreed with Russ. I was invited and had agreed to be a part of this collaborative book project. And I was there in the hospital, and Christine's condition was told to me by the doctors to be incurable and untreatable. And so she was put into hospice comfort care. As we were there for that time in the hospital, we had a lot of conversations. And one of them was I asked her specifically, would I be able to tell her story here in this book? And so that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that diagnosis of incurable and untreatable, and kind of how I got through that and how I'm getting through that time now, because it's messy. It is a messy, messy time. I personally am in the process now of rebuilding a life for one that was built for two. And so in my journal that day, the next morning after I got that diagnosis from the doctor, I had written that Christine is not coming home and I am undone. So life is messy, but we handle it. Russ has been a great inspiration for these 4 years as he's been going through his cancer journey. And he has said this many times, that the doctor told him up front that his attitude, his positive perspective on life was the greatest defense he had against that disease. And this is something that we get to choose. And this is why I really like when Russ decided to put the book as the title of his most recent book of Life Happens and Then You Choose. And we do this little hand motion like a whirlwind. Wow, it's just things are happening and spinning and churning. And it's happening all around us, but we get to choose how we respond to that, how we're going to act on that. That is 100% our choice, our decision. And so Russ is an inspiration. He's been an inspiration to thousands of people during this journey, and we're so grateful for him. And one of the things is that we've been able to meet face to face several times over this time since I have left and come to Texas. One of those things was at PodFest. PodFest happens every year. It's in January. We're talking about conferences that are going on this fall. We've got the UX AI conference. There's another conference from a friend of mine that's going on in Houston coming up, and I think that's in October, and that's all around creating content for social media. She is an expert, and so reach out to me if you want to know about that. You want to get involved in PodFest or some of the other conferences that are around. Make sure that you take advantage, because that's where you meet people. And that's where we find the most remarkable people on the planet to be with us here on the show. And so I'm just very grateful for that. Thank you to everybody that has commented today on this show. Thank you to Ever for being in the background and putting up information like we're still keeping. I had told Christine that I would keep her website active, agingbetterNetwork.com. That's where she hosted her show, Aspects of Aging, Unscripted Conversations with Experts. And one of the projects that I have is about living an intentional life. And this is one of the, so I have a course. It's actually a 4-month course. It's it's one-on-one coaching that I do for folks. And you can just go to, if you just go to my website, dscottsmith.com, right up in the top, you can see the accelerator. So this is the Full Potential Accelerator. You can also go to that website, fullpotentialaccelerator.com. And there's information there. There's a questionnaire. But if you fill out that form, that Google form, which is embedded on the website, fullpotentialaccelerator.com, and hit submit and ignore the pricing. It says there's a price. You're not committing to any price. What you're doing is you're just saying, hey, I'm interested and I want to get the information, because what's going to happen is you're going to get an email back that has 2 books that I've written, digital copies of the companion to the Independent Planner and Journal. And this is what I use. It was designed for solo entrepreneurs and for independent thinkers to track your goals. And that was one of the things that I found with paper planners as a supplement to the digital. This doesn't replace your digital calendar, but as a supplement, helps you track your goals, keep you on target. So you'll get the companion to the Independent Planner. You'll get a digital copy of my book on networking, Business Networking, A Scientific Method. We talk about the brain science that happens when we connect. Talk about the 6-step process of what you actually do at business networking events, down to what you say and how you connect to people, how you break into a group of people that you want to join, and how you approach a single individual. Maybe it's actually harder to approach the individual than it is to step into a group. It is a process that doesn't require you to be an extrovert, is not limited by being an introvert. And then we look at the network structure. Who should be in your network and what are the roles that the people have? So you get those too. When you hit submit, fullpotentialaccelerator.com, fill in the Google form, ignore that there's that I'm charging a cost. That's only if we work together, but you will get the email with the 2 books and 2 academic papers. You're going to get the End of History Illusion. This is an academic paper that I've been using since it was published about 13 years ago, and have shared with so many people. It's very interesting. It turns out that based on their research, we underestimate how much we're going to change at every stage of life. We think that we are going to be basically the same way we are for the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years. But we would have said that 3 or 5, 10 years ago as well. And we did change. We can accurately describe all of the changes that we've gone through in this last period of time, which means it was unintentional. And I don't want to be unintentional about my life. Life is too precious, too short to be intentional and let just meandering currents drive me. I want to be intentional about where I'm going. So the End of History Illusion is one of the academic papers. The other one is Pragmatic Perspection. This is from information or research that was done by Dr. Gail Ottingen. And it actually talks about how positive thinking can limit your future. And it all has to do with brain science. Again, the hippocampus is the part of the brain where we remember the past, but it's also what we use to imagine the future. And so pragmatic perspection is a process that will help you be more successful and eliminate the downfalls, the pitfalls of positive thinking. Positive thinking is just saying, imagine this has happened out in the future. But pragmatic perspection helps you achieve that. And the research that they did, just to give you an idea, they took students that were graduating from college, and they said, okay, you're going in for job interviews. Imagine that you got that great job. It's the dream job, and you're just so happy there. It's what you've been going to school for all these years. And the students that were practicing positive thinking had fewer job interviews, fewer job offers than those that were practicing pragmatic perspection. And the students that had been practicing pragmatic perspection 2 years later were making more money than the students that had practiced only positive thinking. So you'll want to read that article and find out what that is all about. So you can go to fullpotentialaccelerator.com, fill in the Google form, and again, ignore that there's a price there. You're not committing to anything. You're not buying anything. You're just going to get the email. Oh, and by the way, you're not being added to any marketing funnels. There's no email list. There's no community there that you're going to join. You're just going to get the one email. And if it's helpful, let me know. And that's all there is to that. So fullpotentialaccelerator.com. Thank you again to Ever for putting all these comments out there. Join your local networking events. Go to your Chamber of Commerce. Go to the different networking events or groups that you have in your community. Get connected to people. Do not be isolated. Isolation is the killer. You need to be connected to other individuals. You need to be connected to people who, as I say, will not let you fail. Surround yourself with those who will not let you fail. And in honor of my friend and partner in the experience, the first time that Russ was not able to appear on the show, I found a substitute host. Yeah, it was Kermit the Frog. Just has so much energy, just like Russ. And you know what? We're not going to let that pass without a repeat of Kermit. So with that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's commented. Great thanks to Ever for being there and helping us out so much here on The Experience, for being a great friend. And thank you to Russ. We wish you continued recovery, get strong, rest well, heal strong, and come back and join us soon. And for all of you that support The Experience, thank you so much. Thank you to our sponsors. We are here every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 9 here in Central Texas time. And as we say, have a fabulous day and enjoy the experience.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.